Hello. Good afternoon. It's never too easy to moderate a session just after lunch, but since the session is on gold, I hope all of you will be bright and awake, wanting to listen and imbibe whatever we are going to say here. So the focus of this Agri Summit is women in rural economy. And two of the assets that most women in rural economy have is gold and maybe land and property. Of course, a lot of problems with holding land, as we heard in the previous sessions. According to a research by Morgan Stanley, Indian households hold about 34,600 tons of gold with them. And we are sure that most of it, or a large chunk of it, will be with rural India as well. And it's also true that gold has been on a very sharp, dizzying run over the last couple of years. In 1 year, it's up about 84%, as we all know. In 1964, when your grandfather and grandmothers would be buying gold, 10 grams of 24-karat gold was priced at rupees 63. Would you imagine? And now, 10 grams of 24-karat gold will come at about 1,65,000. Okay, and if you're going to buy 22-karat gold, you could get it about 1,45,000. But if you want to buy even 1 gram of gold, you have to now shell about 14,000 to 15,000 rupees. So it's really become really expensive. And the topic of this discussion is it's beyond the reach of Aam Aadmi. But I'd like to raise a question, is it really beyond the reach of Aam Aadmi? But before we do that, I'd like to know what women in rural India think about this dizzying price rise and what they are doing about it. So in the last session, panel discussion, we had Miss Aruna Didi. Can we have a mic with Aruna Didi, please? Is it okay? दीदी या हम आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे कि सोने का भाव जो है बहुत ही ऊपर चला गया है अभी या 10 ग्राम का गोल्ड अभी आपको 1,50,000 के पास लगभग आता है। तो आपके गांव में जो महिलाएं हैं वो अभी क्या कर रही हैं उसके बारे में, मतलब सोना खरीदना चाह रही हैं कि उनको क्या लगता है, उनका क्या प्रॉब्लम्स फेस कर रही हैं अभी?
हमारा गांव का दीदी लोग का सोना नहीं खरीद पाएंगे हम लोग। जो बेटियों का शादी करना पड़ेगा वो लोग तो बोलेगा वो हमारा पास ज़्यादा रुपया नहीं है, हम लोग कैसे सोना खरीद लेंगे।
लेकिन फिर भी वो खरीद रही हैं, उनको लगता है कि और ऊपर जाएगा, हमको खरीदना चाहिए, ऐसा सोचते हैं कुछ लोग? नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। अच्छा, नहीं, आपके पास जो सोना होगा जो आपको शादी में मिला होगा, क्या आपको पता है कि उसका जो भाव है अभी बहुत ही ऊपर है, कि आपका जो पूंजी है, आपका जो बचत है वो बहुत ऊपर चला गया, ये आपको पता है?
हाँ।
आपको पता है कि आपके पास आपका धन काफ़ी बढ़ गया है क्योंकि सोने का भाव बढ़ गया है?
हाँ।
तो आपने ये सोचा कि उसको गिरवी रख के कुछ लोन लिया जाए, कुछ पैसा लिया जाए, उसको वापस खेती में डालें, ऐसा आप लोगों ने कुछ सोचा?
अभी भी नहीं सोचा।
अभी तक नहीं सोचा।
हाँ, सोना के दाम में इतना ऊंचा में गए हैं, हम लोग तो कैसे सोना खरीदेंगे, कैसे ये करेंगे, हम लोग तो नहीं समझ पाए।
अभी सोचा
भी नहीं है।
ओके, थैंक यू दीदी। Okay, so coming to our panel, so I think one question that all of us here would like to know is the gold prices have been going up quite a bit. Everyone would want to know, is this rally going to sustain? What do you think? Will the price continue going up? And this is a question I'll throw to all the panelists. You can give me some brief answers. So, okay, Jateen, what about you? What do you think? Will the rally continue?
I would like to start with, a famous quote from Mr. Warren Buffett. See, the gold that we dig is then melted and then safeguarded, all right? So the safeguarding part is now a little bit modified. It is like the central banks are allocating the gold, they are safeguarding it, but they are also stabilizing it on the means of portfolio allocations. See, the portfolios are now a larger part and larger, awareness where the gold part has played its part in the portfolios. See, there are mediums which are running the portfolios with ETFs. With respect to ETFs, we have the central banks, allocating a lot of gold into their portfolios right now. So the yields are not that much of a, quite on the predictable side. That is a main reason, I think. And uncertainty word, which has been, carrying around since last few years. That is why this gold return is still looking quite, positive going ahead. The geopolitical tensions are there since like 5 to 6 years now. I think 2021 was the year where it all started, these geopolitical tensions. Then it, kept on escalating to other countries and everything from Russia, Ukraine to Middle East, and then now US, Iran. So these all things are still looking quite onto the supportive side for the gold rally. And I think gold is here to stay, and the rally is here to stay. The volatility is definitely going to be there, but that volatility is going to give us an opportunity to enter it, because gold is not in a one-way stream, so it is a little bit volatile, and that volatility, I think it is an opportunity for entering it.
So Jateen, I'd like to ask your views. So it's actually the investment demand from gold exchange traded funds and other funds that have been actually driving the prices higher. What is your view on the investment demand in gold? Do you think that's going to continue? And also the portfolio allocation, now we're hearing a lot of investment banks like Bridgewater Associates and JP Morgan, they're all saying increase your portfolio allocation in gold. So what is your view on that?
See, first and foremost, definitely yes, the investment cycle has to continue. The investment cycle of gold is, earlier when the gold was rallying, it was on back of jewelry kind of a demand cycle, where the gold was not looked at as a portfolio or a hedge based or a very strong portfolio based, which you should be including it in your other asset classes comparisonly. So theme has recently changed from the years of, I think, 2019, since US-China trade war started. And then, suddenly we saw a spurt of rise into the gold prices by 20-30% in that financial year. And then so on, then COVID, and then the geopolitical issues that we have seen. So these all things have, relatively changed the scenarios of looking at gold, at how they should be allocating it, not just the means of for jewelry demand, but for the portfolio allocation as well. Now, these cyclical changes are definitely helping the gold prices to stay elevated. The other metals are also performing in that sense, because not only gold, since gold is getting expensive, the other metals are also performing. So that is the purpose where the gold is still looking relatively an asset class which is going to give you a stronger percentage of returns year-on-year basis compared to the other classes. See, since last 5 to 6 years, we've already seen like 300-400% of jump already into the prices. And comparing it to the other asset classes, whether it be cryptos or equities, see, there is a very vast differentiate right now. Maybe sometime down the line, there will be a midden where these things will merge. The overall actual portfolio will be get balanced. But right now, still the allocation is gold in the favor. And coming to the second part, where the portfolio allocation, how it should be and what should be the overall scenario for an individual or a large institution or corporates. See, rule says that at least 10% has to be there in the portfolio, but times have changed. Since only allocating a 10% would not even give you a yield of 20-30% of overall portfolio jump. So minimum, I would say 20-25% allocation has to be there, depending upon what your portfolio risk is at. If you are heavily invested in some funds or portfolio where it is very directly related to the equity markets, and you are on daily basis you are seeing that portfolio jumps ups and downs. So portfolio allocation in gold has to be relatively higher, towards 25-30% as well. But if it is balanced with debt and other asset classes, then it can be around about 15-20% as well. But so basic idea is that it has to be 15% at least on any portfolio basis analysis that you're doing, and it can go up to 25-30 as well.
So Jateen, I'll ask the same question again, Kavita, what I'm going to ask him. So now with the rise in gold prices, the wealth of the households has really increased. About many of the households hold most of their investments and savings in gold. And if gold price have gone doubled or whatever, 150% higher, they have so much more gold. So in rural areas, especially, so how do you think they can monetize all this wealth that they have at their disposal? And like we just heard from Aruna Didi, that they're not aware, they're not thought about it. So do you think the government should run some policy, some awareness programs about how they can monetize the gold, maybe raise some money from it, and use it for more productive purposes? I'll come to you also with the same question. Yeah.
See, this is a little bit of a powerful question because I can get hated for this thing. I'll tell you seriously why. Because monetization of gold means that you are taking the actual physical gold from a woman and taking it out from her lockers and putting it away from her.
But
So
I think women don't mind now.
Yeah. But see, this is a theme where emotions are attached. In Indian households, the gold is like an emotional attachment. See, even if we have so much of paper gold with you as an investment point of view, but in India, the physical demand is like it's an emotional attachment. So little bit of detachment is needed by showing them with the awareness. As you said, the awareness has to be there that how they can let their gold work for them. So instead of keeping the gold idle and as a safety net, let the gold work for you. That is the theme that should be concentrated by the government and by the monetization awareness schemes which should be spreaded towards the rural areas, because tons of thousands of gold are lying inside the lockers, especially in the parts of rural where the economy is strengthening, and 60 to 70% of our economical growth is from that part of our India. So definitely this monetization scheme helps them. The awareness needs to be there first and foremost. They have the gold loan monetization where they can liquidate their, not liquidate, but get some loan on their gold which is lying with them. So they are not selling the gold is with them. But they are getting the cash for it, for empowering themselves and the household eventually. See, if the woman is working, it is not her itself, but the whole household is going to earn a lot of knowledge and a lot of power into the economical strength. So that is what should be the focus point, where the woman empowerment should be coming ahead with the mindset that yes, the gold monetization has to be there. Let your gold work for you. Start a business. Ample amount of opportunities are lying. If we go run through the government sides, there are so many schemes right now running for especially the women also, that they can come out and easily avail those things and run a business and entrepreneurship also as well. So these things will not only lead to economical growth, but the fiscal deficit numbers will also start coming lower. That is what the projections will start behaving, because the more we depend on the imports rather than the export, numbers will start increasing, because the more businesses come into the picture, the more exports will happen, and that is what the focus point should be. And yes, as you rightly said, the gold needs to be coming out from the lockers, and it needs to be working as a working capital for the rural household especially. That what I would say.
Agree with you, because nearly 40 to 60% of the jewelry sales are exchange of old gold. So yeah, that is.
Okay, so jewelry buying, may think twice, but gold as an investment has a long way to go. That's what we're getting from the panel. Gold is going to continue rising if we want to continue investing in gold. So Jateen, you tell us, what is the best way that people can invest in gold? That is it an exchange traded fund or is it a sovereign gold bond? I think that they've stopped now. It's become too expensive for the government to have the sovereign gold bond. So what other ways can they invest, and what's the minimum that people can put to really invest in gold?
See, as we said earlier, that the portfolio allocation has to be 15 to 20%. See, I'm not a firm believer that only the jewelry part should be included in your portfolio. See, the jewelry part is also an emotional attachment, and it is a safety net as well. But on portfolio terms basis, this jewelry allocation should be separated. That should not be counted in your portfolio. On portfolio terms, either it has to be a paper gold like ETFs or sovereign gold bond. If you are holding, then still keep on holding it. And there are mediums of taking it on smaller denominations in physicals as well. So use those utilize those forms to keep on allocating that part into your portfolios. And yes, the cycle is here to stay. And gold, if it is not in your portfolio, then your portfolio is at a very high risk. So yes, portfolio allocation, gold has to be there.
So what's the minimum that people need to invest if they want to put in ETFs and all?
I think it starts from a basic one share, that is whatever the price is, and you can even take 100 rupees from it. So minimum denomination of 100 rupees also you can invest it.